Hey there. It's March 5th and time for Proverbs 5. Let's jump over there and turn this off. But today it's about avoiding seduction and enjoying your marriage. Okay? Simple subject. A rampant problem then and a rampant problem now. And he's talking specifically about adultery. That's women that are married that in here, and men do it too, that go outside their marriage. Okay? He talks a little bit sometimes about prostitutes. Prostitutes then were not married. Women didn't work. They had no husbands, and they did it to survive, right? Still wrong, but adultery. Okay. So, as usual, he starts at the same. My son, pay attention to my wisdom, listen closely to my understanding, so that you may maintain discretion and your lips safeguard knowledge. Okay. Yeah. Though the lips of the forbidden woman drip honey, and her words are smoother than oil, in the end she's as bitter as wormwood, and as sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps lead straight for Sheol. She doesn't consider the path of life. She doesn't know that her ways are unstable. Right? Her paths are movable. She hath ever new means to allure to wickedness. Right? Right? They enjoy doing that, I think. So now, my sons, listen to me. Don't turn away from the words of my mouth. Keep your way far from her. Don't go near the door of her house. Otherwise, you will give up your vitality to others and your years to someone cruel. Strangers will drain your resources, and your earnings will end up in a foreigner's house. Yeah, I like that. Strangers will drain your resources, and your earnings will end up in a foreigner's house. Right. At the end of your life, you will lament when your physical body has been consumed, and you will say, how I hated discipline, and how my heart despised correction. I didn't obey my teachers or listen closely to my mentors. I am on the verge of complete ruin before the entire community. Right. Stay home. I like that. Don't go near that. Give up your vitality to others. Okay. Enjoy marriage. Mm-hmm. Now, this is good. Drink water from your own cistern, water flowing from your own well. Right? Stay home. Right? Stay home. Should your springs flow in the street, streams of water in the public squares? Right? Springs, your seed, right? It belongs at home. They should be for you alone and not for you to share with strangers. Let your fountain be blessed and take pleasure in the wife of your youth. A loving doe, a graceful fawn, let her breasts always satisfy you. Be lost in her love forever. Right? Your wife. Why, my son, would you be infatuated with a forbidden woman or embrace the breast of a stranger? For a man's ways are before the Lord's eyes, and he considers all his paths. God sees this. He does. A wicked man's iniquities entrap him. He is entangled in the ropes of his own sin. He will die because there is no discipline and be lost because of his great stupidity. Right? Right. Seems fun at the time, but there's always a price to pay, right? There you go. That's Proverbs 5. It's a single subject, all right? We did highlight some stuff in here just to accentuate it, all right? 3, 4, 5, and 6. Though the lips of a forbidden woman drip honey, and her words are smoother than oil, in the end she's as bitter as wormwood, and as sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps lead straight for Sheol, or hell. She doesn't consider the path of life. She doesn't know that her ways are unstable. All right? Is there any notes in here for this? Of a strange woman. That is a harlot which giveth herself to another other than her husband, right? Adultery. Right? By oil and honey he meaneth flattering and crafty enticements. Her feet go down to death. All her doings lead to destruction. Right? She weigheth not only the life, her paths are movable. We looked at that one already. Right? She hath ever new means to allure to wickedness. And just back then they were addressing men, but okay, men do this too. Okay. And it's just as bad. Women, stay home, love your husband. Right? Like this, 9 and 10. Otherwise, you'll give up your vitality to others, and your years will be to someone cruel. Strangers will drain your resources, and your earnings will end up in a foreigner's house. See what that says over here. That is thy strength and goods to her that will have no pity upon thee, as is read of Samson and the prodigal son. Right. Goes to the New Testament on there, right? They don't care about you. They care about what you have, okay? And as soon as they use up your resources, they're going to throw you out like trash, okay? All right, that's what they did with Samson, and that's what they did with the prodigal son. And this strangers will drain your resources, and your earnings will end up in a foreigner's house. So 10. Thy labors and be in the house of a stranger, right? The goods gotten by thy travel. What else do we have notes on over here? But he was faithfully instructed in the truth, yet I had almost fallen to utter shame and destruction, notwithstanding my good bringing up in the assembly of the godly. Yeah. Drink water of thine own cistern. He teacheth us sobriety, exhorting us to live of our own labors and to be beneficial to the godly that want. Right. The rivers be yours only, right? Distribute them not to the wicked and infidels, but reserve them for thyself, thy family, and them that are the household of faith. Right? It talks about springs. It's talking about your goods, right? The fruits of your labors should not go to strangers. They should go for your family, your church, the needy. Right? Okay, we just read that. Let thy fountain be blessed. The children which shall come of thee in great abundance, showing that God blesseth marriage and curseth whoredom. Right? Children. Right? Having children is what it's meant for, not for this stuff. Joy the wife of thy youth, which thou didst marry in thy youth, right? When you were younger. Why should you delight, my son, in a strange woman, or go astray with a stranger? For the ways of man are before the eyes of the Lord, and he pondereth all his path. Right? He declared that except man do join to his wife, both in heart and in outward conversation, that he shall not escape the judgments of God. You got that? God sees it all. We know that. Right? He shall die for fault of instruction, because he will not give ear to God's word and be admonished. Right? People just won't listen. They do it anyways, and they're always sorry in the end, right? When they're broke and destroyed and everything's gone, your family's gone, your children are gone, because you did something stupid, right? Think about that. Well, there you go. That's one subject, and a very important subject, especially for nowadays, The family's important. All your resources should go to your family, your friends, and the needy. right? Not to some strange person who doesn't care about you, but only cares about what you have. Okay? So there you go. That's Proverbs 5. A weighty subject, right? So stay tuned later today. I think we're on Mark 9 in our day 64 of our Through the New Testament in a Year. They're short studies because, you have lots of time doing the New Testament in an entire year. So stay tuned for that. Give us a like if you think about it. But tomorrow we'll continue. See you later.